Hi, welcome to another episode of Good Cubes Kitchens, The Lab. My name is Yassine Butler and I'm your host, and today we are tackling something very strange. We're going to be making some candy corn hot wings. It's Halloween time. I gotta do it for the gram. Alright, so when I originally saw this recipe, I actually thought this could really work. And the reason I thought that it could really work is the flavors of candy corn, while they're not my favorite, they actually really will work once you melt them down. Adding that heat to them, allowing that to caramelize some, will give you a much more complex and intense flavor. So when I make wings, I don't like frying them. I'm a baked wing kind of guy, and so today we're going to be baking our wings. And this is a recipe that I found to make really good baked wings. The first thing that you want to do is going to parboil the wings to render some of that fat so that they'll crisp up in the oven. But you want to season your water or you're just going to have bland tasting wings. So I'm going to do some garlic powder, some onion powder, some cayenne pepper, some salt, and some Frank's Red Hot. This will give your wings a really great flavor right out of the water, and then they'll crisp up really great in the oven. Now that our water is nice and hot and getting kind of moving, I may start sneezing because it is so spicy already. We're just gonna add over our wings. I'm going to incorporate a little bit of studio magic here, and I'm going to take these over to my actual stove. My electric eye is not getting hot enough to actually make this boil. I'm gonna boil it for about 7 to 8 minutes. The next step is to melt down our candy corn, which we will use as the base of our sauce. Going to melt that on a medium-high heat, stirring constantly so that it doesn't stick or burn.
You want to start moving it.
Now that it's cooked down, we have this really nice syrup. That's a much better flavor. Almost burned the tip of my finger, but a better flavor. I'm afraid that I might have a little bit too much, and so I'm afraid I have a little bit too much, so I'm going to pour the rest. Okay. Now, to incorporate our butter. I'm going to do about half a stick, a little more than half a stick. And the last thing I want to do is pour over my hot sauce. Look at how glossy that is. It's sweet It's spicy, but it could use a little more flavor. There we go. That's the flavor I'm looking for. I'm gonna allow this to continue to stay nice and warm on my large stove, and I'm gonna get my wings prepped. Now that they're nice and boiled up, we're gonna remove them from the pot. So now that our wings have been allowed to pretty much drip dry, I'm going to put them on the rack. And I'm going to do these wings two separate ways. One is in a convection oven or air fryer, and the other is in a conventional oven. And I cracked out my old school convection oven because this one goes all the way up to 500 degrees. This one goes all the way up to 500 degrees, and because it gets nice and hot like that, I know that I can get the best, most crispy wings possible. So this is going to be set to 500, and my oven is already preheated to 500 degrees. And I'm just going to cook these for about 10 minutes because they have been parboiled, which means that they're about 40% of the way done. All right, so I'm gonna set these to 20 minutes because it's gonna need to get up to temperature, and I'm gonna put those in for 20 minutes as well. Little known fact about me, when I moved to California the second time, I did a stint as a line cook at Buffalo Wild Wings. So I chose my KitchenAid stand mixer bowl because it has a great shape to get a good centrifugal force, just like the buckets at Buffalo Wild Wings. Going to sauce the convection oven wings the same way. I can feel already that they're a little bit less crispy than the wings that were made in the oven. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, candy corn buffalo wings. Let's dig in and give it a try. So this side is the side that came out of the air fryer. Got a bit of a crunch to it, not as much as when I use the oven. It's got a nice spice and then a little bit of a sweet. It's definitely like a sweet and spicy wing. You know what would really well in this? Some ginger. If you don't clean your wings like this, don't eat at my table. Don't. We fighting. Now, let's try one of the traditional oven wings. Got a little bit more of a crunch, especially on the tips. Overall, both work really well. I actually think I may prefer the traditional oven over the convection oven, which I was surprised by. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Candy corn buffalo wings. And they're really good. It's interesting because I had this idea about, I don't know, 2 years ago. Around this time, someone had posted a picture of it and people were like, oh my God, that's so terrible. Why would you do that? And my mind automatically knew, nope, y'all tripping. This is actually really good. When you allow the candy corn to cook down until it got to that nice red color, reducing all of those sugars really got a bit more complex. They didn't really taste straight like candy corn. And then when you season it up with a really good hot sauce and your additional flavors, you got a really great base sauce. So if, you know, after your kids go trick-or-treating one year, you got a whole bunch of candy corn left and you want something to do with it, this actually makes for a really great dish. And it'd be something cool, festive that you can have out. It's really a delicious conversation piece. So that turned out really good. And as always, let's thank the good Lord for good food and good times. All that good is Good Cubed. Please follow me on all social media platforms at Good Cube. That's GOODCUB3D on all social media platforms. And as always, have a good one. Peace.